My name is Reagan Abner, and today I'll be talking about Superman and whether or not he can actually fly and if he's scientifically relevant. Have a little bit of problems.
Oh, of course, it's not
video.
Able to reach tall buildings in a single bound, this amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Empowered with X-ray vision, possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
Now, you guys might be wondering why I showed you this video, because if you're Americans, you guys all know who Superman is. But the reason I wanted to show you this is because originally, Superman couldn't fly. He could only jump tall buildings, which makes a whole lot more sense to me. Now, Superman was actually a comic book before he was a cartoon. I'm sure you guys all know that. But in 1938, like in cartoons, he couldn't fly. Now, if we think about our Earth's gravity is 9.807 meters a second squared. And the moon's gravity is less than that. It's 1.622 meters a second squared. But then Krypton's gravity was significantly higher than that, and that was 146.105 meters a second squared. So what you have to think about is Superman with his Kryptonian physiology was adapted to a much higher gravity than we have here. But here's the thing, even though he might have kind of a leg up on us because of his Kryptonian physiology, he wouldn't be superior for very long. If we take kind of a look at how our science is as far as humans go, when NASA sends astronauts into space, it has a huge effect on the human body. When the gravity disappears, the human body actually weakens and adapts to the environment, reabsorbing muscle mass at a rate of 5% a week, atrophying bones of 1% per month, and losing 22% of blood volume within 2 to 3 days, which is a huge amount. So if you think about it, even though Superman is obviously not human, it can be logically concluded that due to his many similarities to humans, he would probably adapt the same way. So if this is the case, it would only be a matter of time before he adapted down to Earth's gravity, and once his strength is gone, so is his ability to leap tall buildings. When astronauts are up into space and they go to the moon, they can leap really high and really far, but the longer they're in space, the less muscle mass they have, and eventually they wouldn't be able to. And when astronauts actually come back from space, depending upon how long they've been up there, they have to do a lot of physical therapy to be able to handle Earth's gravity once again. But what about present-day Superman and his gravity-defying flight that we all know? Is that anywhere close to possible? No. Here's a video showing why. Here's a video showing the kind of flight I'm talking about. Okay, so there are so many things wrong with this. Sorry about this. Alright, so while lesser gravity may account for Superman reaching heights for a short time, he's missing some of the fundamental basic principles that allow someone to be able to fly and to stay flying. There are 4 forces that actually govern flight. There's lift, weight, thrust, and drag. And as you guys could see from the elevator scene, he didn't even thrust when he was trying to get off the ground. He just kind of floated off the ground, and it seemed like he just did it with the power of his mind, which is not possible whatsoever, unless, of course, he was filled with some sort of gas that allowed him to float, or something else a little bit supernatural. The other problem that we have is lift. Lift is the force that allows animals and planes to take to the air. It's governed by air flowing over the wings. And last I checked, Superman doesn't have wings, and his cape doesn't do a thing. So the basic principles of aerodynamics dictate that Superman would be incapable of flight in his anthropomorphic form. The human body is just not aerodynamic enough to take flight. So as far as I could research, it's biologically impossible and entirely impractical in the real world for Superman to be able to fly. There are a few other less popular theories in existence about why Superman could fly, because nerds love debating this kind of thing. But they all require far more imagination than information-based scientific foundation. And I believe that Superman's flight abilities are impossible in a scientific sense, and once they're gone, it just leaves him a mere mortal. And that gives me just another reason to think that Batman is way cooler than Superman. And here are my references. Thank you.